What's up, Pandas? Peter Von Panda here. Just received a key organizer tool, Swiss Army knife type of apparatus to house your keys. This is the second one I've tried here. Anodized aluminum. I got it in orange because it looks so sporty. Total sporty spice. Cool little clip here on the side so you can clip in your pocket if you wanted to. They are screwed on there pretty well, and then three bolts basically holding the thing together. And what I noticed is that in this little accessory pack, looks like it comes with some additional aluminum spacers. I assume if you wanted to double up these suckers and make this wider, you had a lot of keys. Some additional screws, and then some of those O-rings that are kind of the magic sauce for spacing your keys and being able to let them slide but having some tension on it. So I'm gonna take this thing apart and start putting the keys in and see how it works. You know, a couple cool things that I do like about it is this this milling, this texture on the outside, kind of a diamond shape on both sides here, and they do have the logo of the company, their EDC gear, I guess, with a cat. So cool, and I think it's available in a few different colors. I want to say like a green and yellow or something like that. But let's go ahead and put the sucker together and take a look and see if this one works. Hopefully better than the last one. Okay, guys, good thing that was on time lapse. It's still probably a 30-minute time lapse that you watched. I went through a lot of different iterations to get this thing together. As you can see here, I actually used an O-ring to space out these spacers in here, and they have these little washers. I actually tried putting the O-rings in between each key at first. I actually had to remove one of my lesser used keys because about 5 appears to be the comfortable maximum for this sucker. They have these little tiny thin washers, which I was going to put in between these keys. I couldn't get them balanced in there and to stay in the right place. So eventually I took them out, and I was going to use one on the top and bottom just to give the keys a little more room against the sides when I pushed them in and out, and I couldn't get those suckers to stay as I was putting them back together, so they never went in. Couple things I would say is it looks like these two sides are the sides you're going to want to tighten down, and you're not going to want to tighten this sucker down too much. Again, these screws are probably all worthy of a little thread locker to keep them in place. There's a little ring here or hole here so that you can attach it to your key ring. But even the way I have it here, which is probably not tightened down as much as I'd like, to know that all the keys are going to hold together and that I don't reach in my pocket sometime, pull the sucker out and all the keys go and fall all over the place. Even though it's not as tight as I'd like, these keys are in there really tight, and they're not super easy to get out. And actually what I've kind of noticed is I've had to use this notch here to push them all out at the same time to get any of the one key, to get to any particular key that I want. So let's say this key, and then I'd have to kind of, all right, so now I've got this key, and I haven't tried it in the door. Looks like this is where it would stop, so I guess that's probably going to work. I actually have like a little mailbox key here. Yeah, and it looks like it has plenty of clearance too. So I actually think, you know, from a design standpoint, it's pretty cool. I like that this has good structure here, so this doesn't compress. I wish there were maybe some instructions with it in terms of how they would expect it ideally to go together. And, you know, it works pretty well. It's probably the best one I've seen. I know there are some of varying greater costs that are probably going to be better, but for the price, you know, $5-10 or whatever this was, it's a pretty good deal. I am probably going to use it now and see how this sucker goes, but, you know, just keep in mind that none of these are supposed to be total precision, no issue types of devices, just going to help clean up your key life a little bit. Now, keep in mind, I only have 5 keys in here. For those who have a lot of keys, I think, you know, a different product is going to is going to work for you. What I realize is that these extra spacers they give you are not to stack because there aren't any screws long enough to use a double space stack, double spacers to stack it. So this is about as wide as the sucker's going to get. And even if you wanted to put another O-ring on this side to give yourself one more key width, the problem is the nut end is not very long. So you know, even though mine aren't torqued down all the way, you need to have a little bit of overlap, and there isn't a ton here. So keep that in mind. Pretty nice little device though nonetheless. So you know, if you want this, it's cheap, and I'll throw a link up there so you can find one yourself. Peter Panda out.